Man, I'm telling you guys, Glenn has got stories that will just blow you away. Welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Bill.
I'm Josh, and we are joined by a very special guest today, Mr. Glenn Thomas of John Lee Hooker Legacy Spirits, and he has provided us with many samples and 2 bottles of his wonderful product. Glenn, so nice for you to join us here today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. It's good to connect with you guys. We met in a unique, organic way.
Absolutely,
yeah.
In the lobby of Bourbon Bourbon Company, drinking bourbon.
That's right.
More authentic than that, right?
The best way for bourbon friends to meet.
That's right.
It's out and about.
It's a social experiment, without a doubt.
There you go.
Yeah, I walk in and I didn't even see you. I met your marketing person, and I saw Steve Nally, the master distiller for Bardstown Bourbon Company. He's got 4 bottles lined up, and he's pouring. And I look at him and I see the name John Lee Hooker, and I go, wait a minute. I have never seen this before. I know who John Lee Hooker is.
We were listening to the music earlier today.
Yeah, we were listening earlier today, and it really reminded me of things. I'm like, yeah, I need to get back into that and listen to more of it.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I think Bad Boy was my favorite song that was playing.
Just some great stuff. And then, I'm talking to her, and she's like, yeah, this is, Glenn, she points you out, you're over there talking to some other people. And we wound up getting together and just, listening to your story, which is what we're going to do today for all of you viewers out there, because the story is phenomenal. It's everything. I mean, the bourbon's outstanding, but the story is everything.
Yep.
So, we're going to, dive right into that and let Glenn take it over and just tell us about, because let me, before I get into that. So Glenn is the grandson of John Lee Hooker, the very famous blues musician and singer. If you don't know about it, you need to get on your Spotify, you need to get on your Pandora, you need to get on everything and check it out. This is the birth of, you're going to listen to these tracks, you're going to listen to these riffs, you're going to go, well, that's George Thorogood. No, it's not. It is, but he copied it from somebody else. Okay,
big time.
This is the Rolling Stones. No, this came from somewhere else.
This is the beginning of all the the rock craze.
Yeah, the soul, the R&B,
even today,
so much stuff.
Even today, man.
So
and he's always saying blues was the beginning of everything. They brought blues over from Africa with them, and it's just the root of music. I mean, you don't think of a blues artist, in the Rolling Stones mention, but that early sound, they got it from them guitar riffs and all of that, and that's why I came up with this product, because I was fortunate enough to be born into some good genes of his. So I didn't accomplish anything except for being born and making it through, right? But I just always admired him. I admired him before I even knew who he was about, because I grew up with him, and he was always his granddaddy. And so as I got older and started learning more and more about his history, and I said, wow, okay, he's pretty cool. And I was with him at a time where he was getting a lot of his publishing back. So he was fighting with companies to get his stuff back that was taken from him. Because he left home at 13 and went up to Memphis. Wow. He left from Clarksville, Mississippi, and went to Memphis. And so he never really got educated. He was working as a sharecropper. His stepfather was a pastor who taught him how to play. And they never wanted him to play it for the blues. They wanted him to play it for God. But John Lee had his own thoughts, so he went out and did what he did. And so to see my grandfather go through all that and get his publishing back and to leave a legacy for my family, I took great pride in that, because, many, many men, a lot smarter than my grandfather, did not have the foresight to think long term about the family. So for this man to do this, he was, it took me a minute. I remember when I found out my grandfather couldn't read, I was kind of, he can't read, But now I realized he was a genius because he made all these songs and never wrote them down. And I can't remember a shopping list after that.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
Internet, you start learning intelligent is always, people like to throw in on college educated, but a lot of people are college educated and not the smartest people. So, I might fall into that because I'm college educated, might not be the smartest about things. But I just really wanted to honor my grandfather. And so when he passed away in 2001, I set up a foundation called the John Lee Hooker Foundation. It was inspired by a trip he took to elementary school in Redwood City where he lived at. This organization called Little Kid Rock. And he taught little kids how to play instruments. And so this guy had been calling and bugging him to come see the program, Mr. Hooker, come. And he finally said, let's go see the thing. Let's go. Okay. We get down there and he was just like amazed by these little people playing his guitar and they were trying to play his music. And that just it just blew his mind. So he wanted to start some type of blues foundation for the youth. And unfortunately, he passed away in June of 2001, and we never got to set it up. So that same year, I set up the foundation in his honor, and it's still open, still active. We're still here working with kids, and we expand the work with. We have given money to artists who might have fallen on hard times, who need money to pay medical bills, to pay rent, just to eat. So we kind of keep it to where we're not just limited to music programs, because by him being an artist and leaving home at 13, he slept on a lot of couches and a lot of different things. A lot of people helped him, so that was always his big thing. He always believed in helping people. He always had people, staying with him and things of that nature. So this example that he gave me was something I always try and carry with me. So when, 20 years after he passed, my family members, because I'm a grandson, so I am not the first line, so it was the kids. And they decided to sell a publishing. And when they said they wanted to sell a publishing, I was devastated. I'm like, you can't sell it. It's not yours to sell. It's the family, you guys. I went through all of that. And, they decided to sell it. And I'm like, wow, I have grandkids. And how can my grandkids really know how dope their great-great-grandfather was? Because we don't have that tangible thing. I don't care if we're getting $1 a year in royalties. It didn't matter. Even we own it. And that they will be able to take pride in that ownership. So when they sold it, I was like, I need to do something. Came play the guitar. And I've been told by my mother and other musicians to stay away from microphones and phone jack. So what can I do to honor this man who meant so much to me? Oh, we like to drink bourbon together. Glenn, you like whiskey, so let's do a bourbon brand. So I set out on this journey right around 2001, 2021, wow. 2021 to learn about the bourbon industry. And just spent a couple of years researching, talking to people. And when I finally was ready to go and go launch the program or launch the product, I feel comfortable because I spent the time. A lot of people don't realize, any walk of life, if you got to do the research first. And so I believe in building a foundation. And was it boring? Yes, it was boring. Reading about, learning about this, talking to people, it got boring because I wanted to launch my product, but I had that discipline not to do it. Just like the bottles in front of you. I had multiple bottles that I was looking to use, and those bottles were not cohesive to what might be the best look for it. So, I had this one bottle I thought was great. It looked good to me, but I took it around different bars, and that's the thing. I took my bottles into bars, sitting at the bar, talking to these bartenders. Hey, tell me what you think about bourbon. What do you think about this bottle? So I'm going through all of that type of stuff. And this one young lady, she's a bartender, I showed her different bottles. She went right at this bottle. She said, I like that bottle. I said, that's the most basic looking bottle. Why do you like that bottle? She said, because I can handle that bottle. I said, what do you mean you can handle the bottle? She said, I don't have big hands, so I can sit up there and grab it by the neck. I can turn it. I don't have to have two hands on it, do all of this. And, you know, I'm 6'1", pretty nice sized guy, nice sized hand. So I never even thought of that. I was like, what? And so those type of things went to on the bottle. If you look at the bottle, that label on the side of the label, there's 6 strings on each side of the label. Those represent guitar. If you look right in between the John and the Lee, inside here embedded is the guitar. One of his favorite guitars is embedded into the label. So those are the type of things I spent time doing before I introduced it to the market. And then I was fortunate enough to get connected with Bardstown Bourbon Company. The former president there, his name was Susie Garvin. I sent her an email. I was told that she was not going to reply to my email. I was told that she doesn't do this. She's not going to do it, Glenn. She replied back to me. And we got to talking over email. I said, let's set up a call. We set up a call, talked to her team, and we had a couple of different calls. And then she and I had one last call just together, her and I. And we really just talked about, we didn't talk about bourbon, we talked about life and family, you know, just, and what she was doing was she was getting to know me. And as she was vetting me to see if I was really about this or just trying to slap a label on something and, you know, try and capitalize on the bourbon explosion. And she said, okay, Glenn, I got a deal for you. Because I wanted to tell her, I said, look, I can't reach you, but I can't make your minimums. I already know that. I can't make your minimums. I want to start off with 1 to 3 barrels. I was like, oh, 1 to 3 barrels. And I can go. So end up buying a lot more than 3 barrels. She said, one condition, you have to come to Kentucky to the distillery and see behind the scenes, Glenn, because I want you to see it and feel it. Because you have the passion, I really want you to be able to talk about it. And I'm like on my computer, okay, so what day are you looking at? I got my calendar, I'm there. So that was very enlightening, get to go through the distillery for a couple of days, talk to different people, and really get to understand the whole process. You know, we talked about, I think I told you guys about it. I picked barrels from certain parts of the rick house because I wanted more yield. Because once again, I go in there, I get 3 barrels. That's all I'm getting. I want to get the most juice as I can. I need 3 barrels. So, and also I knew I was taking it to 100 proof because I believe in being the first product had to be very authentic. So I wanted to be bottled and bond. So I knew I was taking it down to 100 proof, and you know, I didn't need a barrel that was going to be 125 proof to take down to 100 proof. You know, my barrels, the first lot were like 100 and between 108 and 112 proof. So
yeah, you don't want to water down your first product.
Right.
Yeah. So if it's going to be, I was going to keep most of the natural flavor for it by not having to add so much water to it. And it came out great. We won 14 awards for our first release. And a little bit about the name, Boogie Chillin'. So everybody said the company, everybody thinks the bourbon called John Lee Hooker Bourbon. No. John Lee Hooker Legacy Spirits is the company. The brand is Boogie Chillin' Bourbon. And the reason I call it Boogie Chillin' Bourbon is because Boogie Chillin' was his first hit song, 1948. The anniversary is this month. It was this past anniversary, beginning of the month. So it was the first blues song to go number 1 on the music charts. And
wow,
I figured, wow, that was his alpha. You know, I said that's his alpha, so that needs to be mine. So called the brand Boogie Chillin', but also had to represent him on the bottle. And that's why, you know, I found one of my favorite pictures of him sitting in his favorite chair that we still have, and his guitar sitting there, a little smirk on his face. And then I when I call it 1908, that was his beginning. that's my beginning for this journey. And it was also the year my mother was born. So I said, what's better way to honor him and my family legacy by calling the first week 1948? I did a lot of talking, so let me let you guys.
Well, that's what we wanted. We wanted you to tell the story because nobody can tell it better.
And you've got, man, I'm telling you guys, Glenn has got stories that will just blow you away.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing. When I first met him, I'm listening to him tell a story about his first drink with his grandfather. It wasn't his first legal drink, but it was his first drink. And he's 15, 20 feet away from me, and he's projecting. I mean, he's living it. He's not. And that's the thing here. When you get into these new or smaller craft distilleries or distillers or producers that are out there, brands, you get to talk to the people, which is what we're doing right now. And you guys out there in YouTube land are hearing it. You're talking to the people that have got all the skin in the game. And hearing the story, like we said before, bourbon's a social thing. How much more social can you get than here we are? We're in North Carolina.
Glenn is chilling out in California.
Glenn's in California. He's up around Sacramento, that area up there. And we're talking about bourbon. We're talking about his grandfather. We're talking about just life in general. And we had another call before this. We had met him at the distillery. We were drinking. We were having lunch. We were, separately, we were having lunch. We were smoking cigars. He's back over there with us going, hey, what are you smoking over there? And stuff. And so we said, hey, you know what? When you get ready to launch, we would love to be a part of this, and put this out there with our channel and our viewers and things. And so just kind of get that word out there about a new brand, right?
Because how often do you get an opportunity like this?
Exactly. I mean,
and it was fun. That day was so much fun for me. It was like my nerding out. I got to bring friends and family down there who've never been to Kentucky, who've never been going through the distillery process. They get to go in there and see the bottling. And I get to walk into the gift shop. I see Steve Neal. They go, hey, how you doing? And I say, hey, guess what? My new releases I'm coming out with the original juice. Da-da-da. You want to see the bottles? Yeah. So I showed him the bottles, and then next thing you know, he and I walking into a lobby, and you want to taste them? He said, yeah, I do. I wasn't planning on opening them, but hey, let's go ahead. And Steve said, let's drink them. And we sat out there, and then before you guys got up, these people walking by there, everybody like, what is he doing out here? What are y'all out there doing? Because it was really crazy looking how we were just sitting over there. Right?
Yeah.
And people walking by, hey, don't look, come, want to taste it? And we just sat out there and had a bourbon taste in the lobby of Bar Sound, which was incredible. And that story, that is one of my favorite stories. Okay, I was 21 years old, and I went to the #1 party school in the nation back then, Chico State. Go Wildcats! And so we drunk a lot out at Chico State. Playboy,
to put it lightly.
Playboy magazine came out to Chico every year. I was there doing a certain event that we had out there called Pioneer Week, and we just so like every other college student, I was terrible with my money management, just terrible with taking care of my business, certain things, and my 21st birthday come up, and I'm broke. My mother mad at me because used a little more money on the credit card than I should have used or whatever. And I need some money. Who can I call that will actually give me some money? Hey, granddaddy, how you doing? Guess what? He said, what? I turned 21 on Friday. I'm going to see you. Why you come to see me? It ain't my birthday. Okay, old man. Let's not play this game. Then I said, I'm your first grandchild. I'm coming to see you. How you gonna not want to be with your first grandson on the 21st birthday? The whole drama fell. But he knew what time it was. He knew why I wanted to come out there. And I come out there and we were talking. He said, you know what, you're 21 now, you can have a drink with the old man. Because contrary to what people think, Valley didn't walk around drinking, and he never was never even questioned it. I was going to sit there and drink with him underage, and so at 21, he wanted to have a drink with his oldest grandson. His oldest grandson wanted to have a moment where he get money, and he wanted to have a moment where he had to bond with it. So we had conflicting goals at the moment. So I'm like, okay. I said, Granddaddy, I got some bad news for you. This ain't my first drink. And he said, I know it's not your first drink. Your mama told me about you at the school. I know, yeah. Yeah. I heard about your school activities. I'm like, okay. So, fine. I'm like, okay. I'm going to have this drink with you because I need this money. And so he poured me some whiskey. It was an Old Forester, and it was definitely it was a high proof Old Forester back in the day. And he did 2 fingers. He had a rock glass. It pretty much poured it in there and some water, a little splash of water. I'm like, where the token ice at? You know, what's this? How you drinking? You don't know how to drink, right? In my mind, you don't know how to drink, man. He said, that ain't how we drink it. I'm like, what you mean? We just don't drink it. This is how we drink it. I'm like, fine. Once again, I went to Chico State. I didn't drink a lot of stuff up to the point. Okay, fine. You want to have a drinking contest with me? Oh, man, this is going through my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, let's do it. Let's do it, old man. So he poured my glass and he said, okay. I think it was one of my uncles or somebody was there. And they were like, whoever was like, yeah, people there. And he said, okay, happy birthday, Glenn. Before they get the G out of Glenn, I'm shot it like, oh, just hit it, pop. Oh my God, I just get it. It's nasty. What's wrong? My chest was burning. I went from no hair on my chest to looking like the joke is that I went from no hair to top of me. Looked like I could play with Jim Brown and Freddie Williams in the Slaughter for one of those old school movies with my shirt open with all this hair on my chest. Because I just drank this bourbon straight like a crazy man. And I'm like, oh, this is nasty. I don't want no more. This is nasty. And I was a little dramatic. I was a tad bit dramatic. Rolling around in the chair, doing all of that. And so he said, well, I said, I don't want no more. He said, you haven't had a drink with me. I said, I did drink it. You didn't drink yours. No, that ain't how you do it. I said, I don't want no more. Well, fine. You don't have to get no more. You can go home and do it. So he gets her from the table. He was quick to get him a walk away. Get on the table, so I had to grab him. Hold on, man. Hold on for a minute. So he poured me another glass. And so this time, fine, okay. And now in my mind, okay, I'm prepared. My body, the shock ain't going to kill me. And in my mind, I'm going to do the same thing again because I think there's no other way to do it. And so I go reaching for it. I said, they about to start. And he said, everybody be quiet. He grabbed my hand and said, no, boy, pick up the glass and smell it. I'm like, why am I smelling this for? Pick up the glass and smell it. Okay, so I pick up the glass. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay, it smells like alcohol. I put it back down. And he started talking to me. He's asking me about, 21, go, you're about to graduate. Yada, yada, yada. I'm just like, okay. He's okay, now I want you to pick it up and just do a little sip. Once again, my clock is rolling, so I'm trying to get, he lived in Redwood City, and I was going to Oakland to have a date. And so I'm trying to hurry up and get out of here. And he's like, no, just do a little sip. So he said, okay, do one little small sip. He said, hold your breath, do a little small sip. Swallow it, then blow out. I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking, now we don't start drinking. He made me put the glass down. And we started talking about some other stuff. And my ADHD didn't kick in now. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. So he said, okay, do another one. Okay, I did another one. He said, okay, you're ready now. So they said they did the whole happy birthday. And he said, you ain't got to drink the whole thing, Glenn. You ain't got to drink the whole thing right off the bat. Okay, fine. So I do the happy birthday, I do my thing. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's actually kind of good. And he said, that's life, boy. I said, what do you mean that's life? He said, that first drink, you was anxious, you was in a hurry, and you crashed and burned. That second drink, you took your time and you savored it and you enjoyed it. That's life, boy. Slow down and enjoy life. Mind you, 21-year-old Glenn had no clue what he was talking about. I accomplished the task. We said to talk a little bit more. He gave me some money, and I went off on my journey. It wasn't until probably 3 years later, 3 or 4 years later, when I had my first son, and he about 7 months, and life is life, and I'm like, wow, why did I want to do this? And I called my grandpa. I told him, I get it now, Vernon, and we need to slow down and enjoy the ride. He said, I said that to you? I'm like, yeah, on my 31st birthday. He said, yeah, you move too fast, slow down, and hung up on me. So that was the relationship I had with him, very quickly to the point. But, John Lee was more like a father to me than a grandfather, because I didn't grow up with my father. So that was a relationship that I had, and that's a relationship I tried to push towards me and my two boys. And, I tell everybody, that was my northern light. That was my guiding star, because growing up in East Oakland, there's a lot of different things you can run into and get in trouble with. But I always thought, man, what if I get called my mother or my grandfather, let them know I did something stupid, or worst case scenario, somebody else had to call my mother and grandfather and tell them. So that was always my guiding light. And so that is why with this brand, I'm just really doing everything I can. And like you said, this is me. I'm 100% owner. All my money into it. Didn't take any money up front because I didn't want to be thrown off my course. Because I knew if I took some money from somebody, then I was going to be on their schedule. I was going to be on what they do. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at and did the things that I've done if I'd have went off somebody else's vision. And do I get people I reach out to on a daily basis? Yes, and they get tired of me calling them. But those are people who I can talk to and get insight and bounce things off. And that is, I'm so happy because I was offered a nice size investment up front, but something told me, no, I don't need to do it. I come from real estate and mortgage here in California. So I was like, I'm arrogant. I can go out and make some money. I can go sell them houses alone.
Right.
So I'm not going to just sell my soul for a little bit of money. So, so that's how the whole thing started. And it's always go back to that principle. Not going to embarrass my grandfather, and I'm pushing this for my grandkids. It's about my grandkids.
I think it's outstanding. I think, what I heard a lot of in there is your grandfather, father to you, mentor. While you didn't realize necessarily he was teaching, he was. He was laying groundwork. He was putting the stepping stones down. All you had to do was just go over them. And it's the same thing as you moved into this. You've got mentors that you're working with. Mm-hmm. And I would tend to make a swag here that I bet you mentor a lot of people as well in the things that you do. And you've got sons and everything. I think it's so cool what you're doing here. When I saw the name on it, on your single barrels in particular, the John Lee Hooker name,
the strings of legacy,
it just immediately hit me like, man, I hadn't thought about John Lee Hooker in forever, and then
it's part of the thing, bring them back out.
Yeah, it all comes back. And you have partnered, Gibson Guitars found out what you were doing, and he played Gibson guitars. And now they are partnering with you on this. I love the fact that you hadn't taken any money on it, that you're doing it on your own pace, you're doing it on your own time, full control over it. You partnered with a great brand, with a great distillery.
Bardstown's putting out fantastic product.
And they're just, they're not legacy yet, but man, they're close, to a legacy distiller. So.
And the thing about them is that every time I talk to somebody from Bardstown or I go there, I'm treated like a major, major brand. They treat me the same way they treat everyone else. And it was weird at first. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not pushed that much. I'm from a sales background. I know you get prioritized and all of that. And, I never felt discount. I never felt like, oh, if I call them and ask something, boom, they got it. You just like, hey, Glenn, if you need to do something out here, this is your office out here in Kentucky, we got you. And to be able to get that coming out is very, I don't know, word humbling, or it's very, I think the word later, but something is very, it's something that you said play it forward. That's one thing where I'm always trying to play it forward, because how you said, my grandfather, he was teaching me lessons, but without telling me. Perfect example, if I go to is music artists, they're very famous and all of this, I will not go to their show at all, because they have a history of making their fans wait. They have a history of showing up super, super late, and then have the attitude because people are, we've been sitting here waiting for you for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And my grandfather always had the notion where, I don't know if this person spent their last dollar to come see me. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on time. And I'm going to give them the best show I can give them. I might not be my best, but I'm going to give them the best that I can give them at that moment. And, it rolled over to me. To me, it was like so hard to not follow through on something. If I say I'm going to do something, it's hard for me not to follow through on it, even though I don't want to do it. I don't want to, but I always follow through. I have to follow through on it. The ethic of where, in work ethic, when I worked in corporate America, I always, hey, this is my job. I need to go do it. And I have to do it because I made this commitment to do it. So those are the things that I picked up from him. And I try to put them onto my two boys. It's like you said, a lot of times you have some teachers who teach by constantly bellowing it out. You have other teachers who lead by example, who show you and, you teach you that way. So John Lee, he would talk to me sometime about things, but other just seeing the way he worked, seeing the way he came up, seeing how
he operated.
No one thought he would make it. He was always told that you won't make it, Johnny. You ain't. And he made it, and he kept going. He never, some days where I'm frustrated, and I'm thinking like, wow, how can I be upset, frustrated? This man left home at 13 and built an empire, and I'm over here crying about some labels or whatever it is I'm crying about, Those are things that I picked up from him.
I'm going to read, if you don't mind, I'm going to read a little quote here from some of your material that you sent to us.
Okay. And also, did I say you were tasting sheet?
That may be what this is. This is, so we got this, and then we got.
It was a sheet where it had like 6 circles on there.
No, didn't get that
one of those. No.
Oh man,
but that's all right. So here on the first paragraph at the end of it, it says, each sip of this bourbon is more than just a drink. It's an experience that narrates a tale of passion, authenticity, and the intertwined love for music and bourbon. I mean, that's listening to you, the story that you just told, the stories that we've heard from you before, which I'm telling you folks, there are story after story after story.
Glenn needs his own YouTube show.
He really does. And just to go at it, and we're drinking it. And granted, now you guys can see that we've got 6 glasses here in front of us, and we've got 2 bottles. You guys can't see these that are back here behind. These are the samples of the Legacy. Tell me if I'm wrong here.
Legacy.
The Strings of Legacy piece of it, and these are what we tasted when we were at Bardstown. And these are, I believe, 8 years old. You correct me anytime I get wrong.
8.5.
8.5. Okay.
A little over 8.5.
And you haven't really released these yet, correct? The only thing you've released so far has been these 2, and this is really kicking this off.
Yeah, the blue one is out. The black one will be released, but it's going to be released in concert with the other one. So,
okay.
By the time this airs, it will have been released. So we're going to release it this coming Monday.
Okay. All right, great.
We're doing a whole thing. We are I'm partnering with Silbach for these single barrels because I think it's very important that I get this out to the wide range. Like I can go through my website and sell them and get them off.
Partner with a major distributor and let them handle that for you.
Yeah, and it's more so just brand recognition. I can't compete with the marketing dollars of the legacy brands. I can't compete with the big alcohol companies out there. So I need to do different ways to get my name out there. And this way, partnering with Gibson, which, was crazy that they agreed to it. It was wild that we were able to do something that no one else had done before. To get these bottles, get these guitars paired with bourbon. So pretty much what I picked 4 guitars that my grandfather did, played, and I paired them each with a bourbon. I got a bunch of single barrels and I tasted them. And I'm trying to match it to those different things. And what I do is I will send you over the tasting sheet. I'm sorry, I thought I included in the box.
That's all right.
That's all right.
But it's a tasting sheet, and on there it's a barcode to where it takes you to how you get that card right there.
Yeah.
There's card. Each I will send that over to you. I send it to you as a link so you'll be able to see it. But it goes into all of that. And the black bottle, which everybody's been waiting for that one. The black bottle is Boom Boom. So naming that after Boom Boom. Everybody know Boom Boom. And it was funny, when I was first coming out, one of the hardest decisions I had to make was what was going to be the first label. What was going to be one? It was going to be blue or black. And we pretty much split right down the middle. And I remember I was talking to Susie over at Barstown, and I sent over her, and then she replied back, blue. And that was it, blue. Okay,
one word.
Well, can you tell me? I said, can you tell me why? Because he blues royalty, blue. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Good enough. Yeah.
Because I didn't even look at it from that angle. But when you're open to hear other people's suggestions and not think you're just, a lot of times I do think I'm the smartest person around, but I know that. But I know that, people are like, yeah. But no, I listen a lot, and that's one of the things I'm trying to listen to people who know a little bit more than me. So let's talk. How do y'all want to taste? Y'all want to go up from low to high?
Yeah, low to high.
So we a little bit. We got them. Actually, we got them set up. So we got number 1, number 2, and then we have the gold top Strings of Legacy. We've got the Zephyr Strings of Legacy. Zephyr. Thank you. And we've got 2 that are letter and number coded. The ES335 is going to be our 5th, and then the SJ200 will be the last.
That's the highest proof, right?
Almost. It's 125.3, and
yeah, it's a high. Yeah,
I didn't even mean to set up like that, and I sure did.
Yeah, that's so. So yeah, that's perfect.
So we have got the Bottled and Bond release here for our camera here.
Yeah.
This is the Boogie Chillin' Bourbon Bottled and Bond 100 proof.
Same one.
And
1948.
1948. And we couldn't wait for this. So, we popped these open last night.
Yeah, these came in yesterday. I had to let them, they were a little bit cool from being shipping, across the country there a little bit. They had to let them warm up a little bit. But yeah, we got into these 2 last night.
And we've had these poured up just a little bit, maybe about 15, 20 minutes before we started filming here.
Yeah. It's got that classic bourbon nose, a little brown sugar, a little caramel, a little creamy, that comes through on it. The corn comes through.
All that corn sweetness, everything that brings.
Yeah. And like I said, that's why I went with those lower parts of the barrel, because the mash bill on this is 75 corn, 15 rye, 10 malted barley. So even though I get that 15% rye, it's almost like the high rye, it's getting close to it.
Yeah.
Many brands call high rye like 9%.
Exactly.
So you guys can call it high rye.
Absolutely. Yes.
But you know what? But it don't taste like a high rye though. You don't really, you get it a little bit, but you get more of that corn up front.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have a ton of spice on it. There's some. It hits more toward the back palate than it does front.
How about we sip it?
So we always clink. First sip, we always clink. So although I sipped earlier, but anyway.
Okay. This wine's called Candy in the Bottle. It's my baby. It's the first one, so it's always gonna be my favorite. You know, like I say, on the palate, you get that caramels, you know. But on the finish, like I said, you get that spearmint and other little like spice. I call it the Kentucky hug. And it's a nice little hug.
Yep, get a little of that.
Little pepper, a little cinnamon on the finish, but the corn sweetness brings in those caramel flavors and all of that. You know, it struck us a little bit by knowing it's a bottled in bond here in the mash bill, and the amount of spice on the finish and the mid palate that it brings in,
and the amount of oak that comes through on the end, because it's at least 4 years old. That's what it says on the label, so we know it's at least 4 years old. But I mean, it's
it's a mixture of barrels from. So it's like this second release apart. You got pretty much 5 to 6 here barrels.
Okay.
Six. The first batch was 4 to 5.
Okay.
Bringing up the age as you go.
But I wanted to, I don't have to. People say, you don't have to have minimum age on there because it's over 4 years old. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but the other thing I get off this, there's a little bit of nuttiness there. That
you see that, yeah.
That reminds me a little bit of that Beam, nutty, flavor that you get from it off their yeast. So, but it's a really interesting bourbon at 100 proof. Now I will tell you, color on them when I look at the two here sitting side by side. This next one, it's got a little more depth to it, I believe. A little more richness.
Let's move on to our cast strength version here.
This is cast strength. There's no cut on this one. That's why. It's straight. Let me get mine. Okay. Right here.
Yep. There we go. That's it. I liked how you said it too. He's sitting there in his favorite chair, got a little smirk on his face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enjoying life.
Talking about, numerous times I went over to his house and he's in that chair and I irked him and he was like, whatever.
Like going away, little fly. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I would tell people, I said, my grandfather was a petty individual, dog. Towards me. He was like, because, he did, it was all, like I tell people, it was all joking. It was all fun. He, when he was tired of talking, he'd let you know, I'm done, bye. But, that was him. So this one right here, and I tell people, this one right here got the flavor. This is a flavor bomb to me, this one right here.
You definitely pick up more oak on the nose.
Definitely, yeah.
Without that proofing.
Yeah. Little bit of less sweetness there.
Little leather.
On the nose. Yeah, a little leather, a little bit more earthy. It comes into this one.
On this one, the palate got more of that cinnamon on it. More cinnamon than the vanilla and stuff.
Oh yeah, that cinnamon starts right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah. Comes through. Like my mother used to make, there's a sugar in there too. There's a sweetness in that. My mother used to make cinnamon sugar toast. And that reminds me a little bit of that.
There you go, because you get the cinnamon toast, so you got the bread.
Yep.
So
the buttery bit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bacon spice. You get like a little bacon spice.
Exactly. Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this one's 108 proof, I believe.
109.
109.9. I knew there was an 8 in there somewhere. So, I mean, that's solid. I mean,
yes, both of them absolutely
solid. I mean, it's too bad we can't be playing some of your grandfather's music in the background, but YouTube will shut us down in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they would
because of the copyright. So,
once I buy it back, I'll let you play it.
There you go. All right, appreciate it. So,
so we're moving on here to our.
And by the way, we'll get to that one. So one of the reasons you're doing this is for the foundation to be able to buy back the rights to your grandfather's music.
Correct.
So if you want to expand on
That's
that.
the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much my family sold it, and I felt that, my kids, my grandkids, they really want to know their grandfather on that level, their great-great-grandfather. So one of my goals is that I want to buy the publishing back and put it back into my family foundation and keep it for generations where, some people could not live off the ace, whatever it was they was getting per year. But I'm quite sure, my goal is to have it going on our foundation. Everybody, like my little cousins who are coming down the line and all that it fits money aside for them to where if they want to start a business, they can get the money. If they want to go to college, they got the money. Or else life is just life and they need some help.
Right.
It's here.
Provides a safe foundation.
To your point, foundation. That's it. It gives them something to build upon from there.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and like I said, nothing wrong with helping giving your people a leg up. Because, I believe in giving a leg up. But then that leg up is something you need to learn to stand on and then
build on.
Play it forward. And also, too, like I said, the big thing I have to play it forward. I think one of the reasons my grandfather was so successful is because he helped everybody. He didn't care who you were. When the Rolling Stones and them were coming up, nobody knew who they were, but he played with them. He was like, hey, come play with me, open up for me. Him, Van Morrison, all these different people. He was open to everybody because somebody was open to him. So that is something that I want to make sure that stays in effect with me and my kids and my cousins, family, whatever, nieces, nephews, all of them. So
I'm telling you, folks out there in YouTube land, go on your Spotify, go on your Pandora and pull up John Lee Hooker, listen to the music. And what you're going to hear is, I know that was in this song or that song or whatever
that movie.
It was, but it's because they got it from John Lee Hooker.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly.
It was funny. I was watching this show called, was it Luke Cage? Remember the superhero?
Yeah.
Luke Cage. Luke Cage. And I remember I was watching the show and I'm into it. And all of a sudden I heard my grandfather's voice. It was bad like Jesse James. And that was it's a song that a lot of people don't really know, but it's one of my favorites. It's like, when I remember I was laughing at my grandfather one day when I listened to the song. I was, you act like you a tough guy. You were no tough guy. You bad like that. But he had all different types of songs. And he wasn't the type of man to be. I'm so macho. He put his life on the wax. He put his life on it. He told it, hey, my woman left me. This and that. Most men. I'm just and I think that's why people like him, because he's authentic. Because we all went through something like that.
That's right.
We all went through losing a job. We all went through something happening, life, and he put it out there. But a lot of people wouldn't do
that
it.
Is my favorite thing about blues music, is it opens an avenue, because we men don't talk about our problems.
No.
We keep that inside.
What problem? What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What you talking about, young blood?
It opened an avenue for you to hear someone else talk about those things and you can relate to them.
Exactly.
And my favorite genres of music would not exist without blues. And would not exist without John Lee Hooker.
Yeah.
Because he led the charge, really.
Yeah, it's so funny to look back on. I mean, I say it about television. The situation comedies, they never came up with a great idea on their own. It all came from the Lucille Ball show. I mean, everything that came out, if you look back on it, you go back and watch those and go, yeah, Laverne and Shirley did that. They just repeated all the stuff.
And it's funny you mentioned Lucille Ball. It's like my fiance. That's what I call her. I'm gonna say, "Hey, Lucy, I'm home."
There you go.
Go crazy about to run into. Which one's next? You say Les Paul? Which one is that?
We have the gold top.
Les Paul.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, so you guys get to see the bottles here. So this is what we saw sitting on the edge of the bar. Actually, it wasn't even a bar hand. It's like a handrail. These were sitting on at Bardstown. I'm telling you, this is
look, blocking the entrance from the entrance going into
the bar and everything. Yeah, yeah.
We blocked all that.
Hey, but didn't matter. Didn't matter.
And so, and this is the unique thing about it. Like I said, Gibson allowed me to put their IP on these bottles. It's something they've never done before. So each bottle represents a guitar and a point in my grandfather's life. And initially I was going to do these as drops, like one every quarter. And, but, you know, best laid plan to minimize, you know, just the year got away and the barrels just kept aging. It was tasting so good. And then we started talking about it. And I was like, well, you know what, let's release them as a set. Because initially I was going to do one per quarter. So Les Paul was going to be dedicated to my young brother. My brother John, he died back in, what year John died? He died in 91. Same year, he died in November 91, same year my son was born. My son was born in January 91. He died in November 91. So, and this right here is that, this Les Paul is that fiery guitar. When my grandfather was playing with them young bucks over there in Europe, and he going hard, and that's this Les Paul gives me that fiery. And so my brother was very fiery, and so this was going to be his bottle. And each one I take, each bottle, the idea behind each one.
I tell you what, fiery on the nose is a great note.
Yeah. So these are all 8 to 8.5 years at the current?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. And these right here, the Mansfield, 78 corn, 10 rye, 12 malted barley.
Okay.
I'm almost getting like a cayenne pepper on the nose.
Yeah, this is...
Honestly.
But it's also really close to the 100, to the 109.
It doesn't veer too far off course. It just gives
you're
it
staying true to the overall base of what you're doing. So
I'm ready to sip it.
Let's go.
And like I say, this one right here, it's that like creamy, buttery, almost like a biscuit type thing on this to me.
Man, it does taste like,
That is so thick.
It is.
I mean, viscous, that is. Ooh, that spice.
It is like a biscuit,
man.
Like a buttered biscuit, a Southern style buttered biscuit, man. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's less rye than the other two, but it comes through.
It comes through a little more spice on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the age. It was in there a lot longer.
Yeah.
It's just a different age. So
and
it gives you a nice. It's a longer finish to me than the other one.
Yeah, the oak is coming through now. I'm getting that hug a little bit now.
Yeah, this is like riding all over the roof of my mouth right now. Actually.
Yeah.
But it's only 10% though, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it just goes to show you what that time in the barrel can do. 3 more years, 3.5, 4, whatever it is, what a difference that makes in a bourbon. So
for sure.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm telling you, we're standing there, we're doing all the stuff, and I'm like, I taste it, I'm like, oh my god!
And you're like, hold on, we have more people with us.
I got 4 other guys who are outside that are TikTok. By the way, as long as you're okay with it, we're going to share these with them this weekend. We're going to a memorial for a friend who recently passed away in the bourbon community, and we're going to share these with them, so it'll wind up on their channels as well. We will send you the links to that. And by the way, for all of you out there watching, the links to everything you're looking at about John Lee Hooker
Legacy Spirits
is going to be in the description. So,
and the thing about it, you're supposed to share bourbon with people. I mean, it's been one of my favorite bourbon stories. When I first started brand, we like to go to Napa. I'm not a big wine person, but I like Napa.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful,
couple glasses of wine, and I'm like, I'm singing and dancing. I'm so pretty. I mean, I'm just, I could drink a bottle of bourbon and be, all right, let's go. We're good. But whiskey, but wine does something to me. And we were out there, and I remember we was in Napa at the Marriott. And in Marriott Napa got this big outdoor area with these fire pits. So me and Quinine, we're sitting out there. We were supposed to be going to dinner. And we were sitting out there, this couple came out and said, hey, can we sit over here? Said, no, sit across there. So we were talking, and so there was couples, they were from Utah, and they were just talking about how the wife was like, oh, we're here because he loves wine. I'm not really a big wine person, I'm more whiskey. I said, whiskey.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
That's right.
I said, so let me go to my room. I got a little something for you. So I go to the room and get my bottles in 1948. And when I tell you we both missed our dinner reservations that night, because we sat out there and went through a bottle and just talked about life. You know, they were telling me, you know, they were former Mormons, and it was talking about that. We just talked about all this thing. And we saw these other connections that we had. And things I love about the bourbon community is that it don't matter your background or where you're from. It's about connecting with people on a different level.
Yes.
Like I tell people, I've never gotten an argument inside of a cigar lounge. And I'm just sitting with people. I might not agree with you on nothing, but we in here, we having a good time and we're doing it. You know, it's all about camaraderie and just hanging out.
Yeah.
So
Bourbon is
that was a fun thing.
Bourbon is
was funny. So
Bourbon's the conduit for fellowship.
there you go.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Well said.
Funny. I mean, she was over there. She was like, "Oh yeah." She said, she said, let them have the wine and we drink the bourbon, man. I'm like, yeah, y'all can have all this wine you want.
Go.
We had a bunch of wine because we was a wine member up there, so it was fun.
All right.
Next?
We are on to the Zephyr. The legacy, strings of legacy.
Zephyr.
61.4. So
122.8
proof.
And boy, this nose is speaking my language.
It's a different nose. It's, again, familiar, but...
Yeah. But see, this is the Epiphone right here.
Okay.
This is one of the guitars my grandfather played early in his career. Epiphone was acquired by Gibson, so they're part of the Gibson family. So that's why they're in here.
Epiphone was my first electric guitar.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He still can't play it, but yeah.
I learned how to play, and I didn't touch it for about 8 years. That's what I learned how to play half decently, and then I left it sit for about 8 years, and I know about 5 or 6 chords, and that's about
He's got an uncle that can play anything you can put in front of him. I mean, anything. And got a voice. Wow.
Dude, this one's like butterscotch and cream and
yeah.
Man.
I get a little like, to me on my nose, I get like, I call it like sugar cookie. I call it sugar cookie.
Yeah.
That's probably a better descriptor than what I'm giving.
Almost like a little caramel, little snickerdoodle in there too.
Yeah.
Man.
The palate. My nose, I just call them out. And like stone fruit, like an apricot.
Yes, that's exactly where I was headed.
A peach, a pear.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it got like a little bit of tartness and a dash of cinnamon. So it's confusing your palate. It's all over the place.
It's got some spice in there.
Oh yeah.
Comes in on it.
Oh man. And again, the finish.
And the thing is, I don't want, for all of you out there, I'm not knocking these at all. That one right there, for my palate,
there's a reason there's
so
special
far
releases.
Right.
You know what? And it's crazy. And like at the end, I'm gonna rank them for you. I'm giving my ranking. My ranking changes pretty much.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Per tasting. It's only consistent on one is very consistent, and I'll tell you at the end. One is consistently my favorite, but this Epiphone right here, I was doing a tasting with this whiskey society out here last week, and there was one guy who was like, "This right here." I was just like, I said, "Well, okay, cool." He said, "I told him my favorite." No, that's not your favorite, but this is your favorite right here. Like,
no, it's my favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
But he loved this Epiphone.
That one's good. That was real good.
That fits right in my wheelhouse right there.
Oh yeah. All right.
And like once again, like the other one, it doesn't. People see 122.8 proof, but it's not beating you up like that.
No, not at all.
No, it doesn't drink there. No,
I think they all so far, with the exception of these two, and one of them almost is 110, but these other ones are drinking about 100.
About 110. Yeah.
All right. So we are on to 123.6. This is ES335.
Yeah, this right here is the Gibson ES335. And this right here is the Starburst. So, like I said, the Epiphone. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I need to drink and I forget sometimes. I don't remember. This one right here, this one he played like probably the beginning of his career, right, starting out. And this one was dedicated to my grandmother. My grandfather and grandmother, they were divorced before I was born, but they saved each other life the whole time. He took care of her to the day he died, because, that's how he was. He said, man, take care of me.
A man does what a man does, yeah.
Yeah, and so he took care of her from then, even though grandmama got on his nerves a lot of times. And also, happy birthday, grandmama. Her birthday was November 12th. So
okay, cool.
And that was going to be her bottle. The Epiphone was hers. And this right here, this is his bottle. Because right here, a lot of pictures you see him wearing, he's holding his guitar right here, the Starburst. And to me, this label is probably one of my most favorite labels because how we like.
Yeah, it's got the gradient color.
It's gradient color, yeah. Yeah, it goes dark on the back, yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, so this is the Gibson ES335. And like I said, this was John Lee's guitar.
Man, I'm getting a rich cherry note.
Yeah, there's definitely a red fruit.
Cherry vanilla.
Okay. Once again, you have the black cherry, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's also there's a depth there.
Yeah, like this is layered, man.
Yeah, because you still got some more of them other fruits in there as well, and with the brown sugar. But
yeah,
I get a leather like that guitar strap.
Send me a little bit like cherry pie.
I like that.
I mean,
it's steal that. Don't worry, I'm gonna steal that.
Don't worry about it. You take it. You take it. And it's like with us, we're nosing things, and I'll hit something, and I'll remember something from my childhood. We were just doing it earlier tonight on some ryes we were doing, and I'm like, yeah, this is that. Now it may not mean anything to anybody else, but for me, it triggers that memory, and there it is. Yeah,
it's olfactory. Let's give it a go.
Oh yeah. Mm. Woo. Then you got the cherry on the palate too.
Mm-hmm.
But then also the finish is real fresh. To me, like a little pine maybe.
There's more rye spice here.
Yeah.
I get that freshness like you get from a rye. Almost, it's not effervescent, but it's almost like an effervescence that comes through it.
But man, that cherry note, it's like cherry pie to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cinnamon
like
cherry
Luxardo.
pie. Cherry contour, what do they call it? Like a cherry contour, whatever it is like.
Yeah. That's, wow. And that one even drinks lower, and it's actually higher.
Yeah.
But man, that spice comes through on the end. That oak comes through. I mean, Glenn, these are
very good.
Yeah.
These are special. These are special pours. I mean,
and when you mentioned like memories, I remember I was doing this podcast from the very beginning, right? And we were talking about the why and all of this. And the podcast host, he's out here in Sacramento, right? It's called Legacy Lounge. And Chris is just so damn emotional, right? And Chris was up there. He said, I was raised by my grandfather. We're talking. And Chris broke me down on one of the bourbons we were drinking. It was only 1948 then. And when you talk about memories, I thought about my grandson. And I thought about Macaulay to me and my grandson, I'm with him and me. And I said, dude, you got me out here because, like you said, it brings out those emotions. Like you don't even know the emotion you're drinking, you're talking about, you don't know what it's for.
Yeah.
We like I said, we keep it down there, but everything behind it is like it comes out, and that's the thing I love about bourbon. People say, "Oh, alcohol, you your mom will kill you." Well, sugar will kill you. The meat we eat will kill you.
Train will kill you.
Cereal will definitely kill you.
Yeah. I got to die from something. I'm perfectly happy if it's one of these six.
Like, that's how I feel about it. Like my grandfather, I'm gonna be happy. Every day is a blessing. You don't know. I was reading a year ago, this surgeon, he was running marathons and all this extra, super smart, 37, he's had a stroke and died. Perfect health. No one knew why. I'm like, he probably deprived himself of so much stuff. But when it's your time, you don't know.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
As long as you ain't anything in moderation, and you definitely ain't saying just drink alcohol and pass out. No. Like I said, my kids never see me drunk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last time
you can't say that.
I can't say that. I mean, we sit here and do 40 pours. He's going to see me drunk. So.
Well, no, we know at this age now, because like I told my kids when they're growing up, I said, "You're not my friend. I'm your father."
Same thing.
As you get older, then we can sit and drink and have a good time.
Yep.
But growing up, I need to stay through an example. So you don't need to see me doing something that I'm going to criticize you for doing. But as you get older, you can get into it.
Yeah.
And so no, I think everything in moderation. And like I said, bourbon is happy. It's corn.
Yeah.
I mean, my best.
You saying that, not my friend, my daughter, who's just barely 2 years, not even quite 2 years younger than Josh, so Irish twins. But I remember we were going somewhere one morning, and she said, "Daddy, are you my friend?" I said, "No, honey, I'm your daddy." And she said, "But can't you be my friend?" I said, "No, I can't." I said, I'll be friendly with you. I'll be all those things. But at the end of the day, I'm your father. And I'm always going to be your father. My job is to try to teach you and lead you and guide you and do those things so that when you get older, you come back to me for other wisdom or to teach me things, as you go. And I'll never forget that. We were, here in North Carolina, and we're driving somewhere. We used to do a daddy-daughter donut day. Sorry, everybody, I'm getting into this, but
Please go.
Once every weekend, I'd take her to get donuts. But that was our thing, man. And she knew it. I knew it. I knew it Saturday or Sunday morning. I might have been on the road all week long and been in Canada or wherever I might have been. And and she's like, "We're going today, Daddy?" "Yep, we're going today." Come on.
No. Those are things that she remembers.
Yeah.
Like me, I remember my grandfather taking me to the diner. I used to love when I go visit him. We go to his favorite little diner. And he had one waitress, almost like what's her name from Mel Merrill's Diner.
Oh, Flo? Yeah.
One waitress, I'm like, Flo. He come in there and they go back and forth. But those are the memories right there, especially with your daughter. You got to lead her because the first man she ever fell in love with is you.
Yep.
If you a jerk, she's going to pick out jerk.
That's right. She got married 2 years ago. She actually got it done before he did.
Yeah.
Because he got married 3 weeks ago here at our house.
Thank you.
And but she got married, and I'm telling you what, we told her and him, what, if something ever happens between you two, we're keeping him. You maybe not so much, but her, I've got him, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, let's get into the weeds. Okay, so my son, he gonna kill me. My oldest son, Glenn, he got my name. Glenn, he had my first grandson when he was 19, and I was mad. I was so wow. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to have nothing to do with this. I'm just in my own feelings. First time I held my grandson when he was born. It's me and you.
That's it.
Everybody else, they got. I don't care about that. And he's always said, "Dad, you be my friend." No, I'm not your friend because your friend is not going to be able to tell you certain things. And his mother Jessica was at his house. Her house yesterday. Because Carter just turned 15 yesterday. Happy birthday, Carter.
Yep. Congratulations, Carter. Yep.
Yeah, and so his mother and Jessica love her to death. I never had girls, and Jessica, like I told her, you're my first daughter, baby. And I said, no matter what happened, you and him, y'all didn't work out. That's fine. I'm keeping you. She got married to this gentleman who is now like a son to me. And, our Halloween tradition is that she take the kids trick-or-treating because her new husband she had 2 kids with him, plus my grandson. My grandson don't come. He ain't come to last Halloween because he old now. He ain't got time for it. But her and the other kids come up at the end of Halloween, at the end of the trick-or-treat hours, come over there, and we sit up there and make cocktails. And like I said, to me, that is, I believe in, they didn't work out. That's fine. But guess what? We got this little man here, and I don't care about you now. You're grown now. My thing is him.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get in your feelings because I want to have a relationship with him and his mother, that's on you. But, you know, he was young, he didn't know, but as he got older, now him and her, good friends.
There you go.
He was there last night at birthday, and he realized it ain't about him, it's about that boy. Like
That's
I told
right.
myself, don't make me make that decision.
Because you ain't going to like how it comes out. Yeah.
I'm going to pick the little big head boy. So,
Yep.
yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah. It's, you know, Josh's grandfather, my dad, Josh's grandfather, he doted on this boy like unbelievable. I mean, they would take him and keep him for a month or 2 months. We were in Texas, they were in Kentucky, and he'd come back and take us 3 months to get that drawl out of him. You know, that Kentucky sound out of him.
Yeah.
But man, they just got on like gangbusters. So
Yeah. And that's like I said, it's all about family, and you know, fathers are the only children. What's the old saying? Fathers are the only the children to be better than. No man will nobody be better than.
that's right.
I want to beat you and whatever, but I want my kids to be way better than me.
Yep.
And that's what they both realized. And my youngest son, he just had his first child, his 30. I got like November birthday. So my other granddaughter, she turned 9 November 4th. And then my son, my youngest son, he turned 30 November 7th. And he just had a son. He had his first son. His son is 8 months old. And it's a difference when you got a 15 and an 8 months old grandson. It's a little different. The energy I had with my first grandson was totally different. This little one right here, this 8 month old Zane is like, oh my goodness, this boy don't ever stop moving. But I look at it, and to me, at the end of the day, I can buy houses, I can buy cars, I can do all of this. But the best judge of me as a man is gonna be them.
Mm-hmm.
So
amen.
that's what it's all about. That.
Yep.
You know, y'all can't get me in my feelings on this show. Let's drink some more bourbon.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're on the SJ 200.
Now this right here, this is the Founder's bottle, which almost didn't make it. Almost didn't
Really?
make the cut because I don't play the guitar. So I'm thinking I don't need an electric guitar. You know, everybody only play electric. And I remember I was looking at this one guitar I was going to go with. And then I was at my mother's house, and she lives in Georgia. And she got a lot of, because some of the guitars are in the museum, and she got some. And so she was like, I said, Mom, I need to pick this one more guitar. And it was a guitar. I said, you don't have this one? Where's this guitar? It was in a museum somewhere, right? I need to find that guitar. And she said, why don't you use this one right here? Mother, that's the acoustic. Nobody wants no acoustic guitar. And she said, boy, she said, for somebody who's so smart, you're so dumb. And she said, this right here is probably the most expensive guitar. I said, what you mean? So this guitar was a guitar that he played when you guys were little around the house. I said, I remember that. And then we started talking, yeah. And I remember it, but once again, I'm so laser focused. I got to get this certain guitar to make this little thing. And then I remember, I said, I do remember that. And then she said, do you know someone called me the other day and asked me to sell this guitar to them for $80,000? I said, what? She said, yeah, this guitar is the guitar that you got to have this one on there, right? I said, fine. So this one right here is the Founder's cut. Because I remember when we came from Detroit, my grandfather, we moved from Detroit to Oakland, California, and we lived with my grandfather for about a year. That's how we had a big house. We lived in the house until my mother got adjusted out there and got her own place. You know, that's what family do. And I remember when the kids were born, me and my cousins being there acting up, and he would throw us in the back of his Cadillac and drive around the neighborhood with the heat on and make us fall asleep in the car. They pull into the garage. And granted, did not take you out the car when you fell asleep. He just put in the garage, closed it, and came in the house. And so one by one, we would wake up to come in the house. And he would sit up there, when we were acting up, he would make us sit down, and he would play the guitar and sing to us. Oh, he was like, oh, no, man, we don't want this. But it was, once we got out of our one thing, we enjoyed it. We get to see him playing the guitar, and so this one right here, so that's why I call this from the founder's bed, because it's taking me back to my childhood. My mother, I did this. He said, you said the name of the street wrong. The street, Bonaventura in Oakland, California. It's a little street up on a little hill. And I remember this. We grew up in this house. We lived in the house, and so it was a bunch of hills. So we would slide down each hill with a piece of cardboard. We would slide down the hill, get the street, run across the street, slide down again, and then do all this. So this right here is this is right here is the founders. So I probably gave it away which one's my favorite one in this.
This is the first one that I tried when we were at Bardstown.
Yeah.
And I smelled this and I tasted it and I said,
this is lighter than the other three of this series on a nose standpoint.
You know what I get? Strawberries and cream.
Okay.
That's what I'm picking up on here.
Well, I said lighter. It kind of that would lend into that. So I get an underlying spice in there.
On this one, like I said, it's I don't know. The day I was first did it, I was gonna have espresso thoughts and dark chocolate on the nose.
Oh man.
Or Orion right here. And like chocolate dipped cherry.
Chocolate covered cherries.
Yeah. I'm gonna buck the trend a little bit and say chocolate covered strawberries.
Could be, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, chocolate covered strawberries. Yeah,
that's what I'm picking up on that, man. That is delicious.
And the thickest on the table
by far.
Mm-hmm.
The most viscous, thickest on the table.
I think we agree with you, Glenn.
I think so. Yeah. Wow.
And like I said, so this right here, and of course, this is the least yielding barrel of all of them, right?
Of course.
When I was getting it bottled, I was like, what do you mean there's only one? Why this one? This is my favorite one. Oh, I could drink this. So, but it just gives you all those nice notes. It's super balanced.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for being 125 proof,
still doesn't drink
it. It's drinking like 110.
No, yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't approach that at all. No.
This one definitely has the most proof impact to it, but it's still nothing like 125.
I mean, go back to the guitars. I mean, I see an acoustic guitar as a lighter. Yeah, they're lighter than the electrics and everything. I'm thinking lighter, fresher, all that kind of stuff. And this is the heaviest thing on the table, man.
Yeah, man.
This is thick and heavy and just wow,
man.
And I think I agree with you. The acoustic is probably should have been one of the more lighter ones. But instantly, I cherry picked this one.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Because I knew this guitar was going to be my founder's guitar. And because at first I wasn't going to do a founder's guitar, but then I was going to force it. I was going to call it something else. And then, because I was just kind of arrogant calling it like, hey, we're going to founder, you don't mind. And somebody said no. He said, a friend of mine said, no, Glenn, you got to call it that. This is your favorite one, and you need to have a bottle represent you. You represent your grandfather, your grandmother, and your brother. Because my brother, he's named after both my grandfather. His name is John Sylvester Thomas. It was John Sylvester Thomas. One grandfather was John Lee, another one named was Sylvester. He got both those names. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's why I had to incorporate a bottle for him. But then for me, I was like, I don't need a bottle. I'm here. Nobody will care about me. But I'm glad I did pick this one as mine because it takes me back to the days when I was little and him playing his guitar or me getting in the back of his car and he turned the heat on to make me go to sleep and then leave me in the car in the garage.
Well, at least he didn't leave it running,
I know, he did like me a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm going to ask you a question now on these. So I know you spent that time with him when you were 21, and I know you spent other time with him as well. Which one of these do you think your grandfather would have liked the best?
Boom Boom.
Boom Boom.
It'd be Boom Boom in 1948.
Yeah.
Since he's not here to defend himself, I'm saying he's gonna pick those two because the picture's on the bottom. And he was so full of it.
That's good. That is good.
But probably Boom Boom. I mean, 1948, that's something he can sip all day. But that Boom Boom, that's something I could see him playing before he goes on stage.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense because there wasn't a lot of high proof stuff out there in those days. 100 proof was about the limit, what you would get
a lot of times,
back then.
107, 110 was about as high as I got.
I just wanted to ask that question because I'm like, man, what would it be? What would it be? So,
and see, to me, I mean, Founders is out of Guitar Series, Founders is it. I love it. Every day, if I'm making an old fashioned, I'm going 1948. But if I want to party and have a good time and just like forget it, I'm going one of these high proofs.
Yeah.
Because it's my mood. It's how I'm feeling at that moment.
Right.
And I don't know. So he's asking me to pick my favorite child. I could, if you give me enough money, I could pick my favorite. If you give me enough money, but I think Boom Boom. He went probably threw a little water in there, probably brought it down to like 107, 106, because he was old school, 2 fingers and a splash of water.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, like I said, when I got older, after my 21st birthday, and after I realized life is real, I would go by there and visit him. I would bring you that bottle by. I remember drinking Blantons over there with him. He ate Taylor, Jim Beam, Wild Turkey, whatever. People bring up bottles and stuff. And I mean, we would sit up there and we would talk. We would talk about life. He would just tell me about his life. Because now I was at an age where I wanted to learn about him, not just, tolerate him or whatever. I wanted to learn about him because I'm like, man, this man did all this. And so we would sit up there and drink. And I tell people, because people always try to make something out of nothing. Oh, you're sitting there drinking. Your grandfather, my grandfather, early on in career, he drank a lot, like a lot of people. But he got himself fixed. And it was cool. It was nothing, like I said, I've never seen my grandfather drunk or anything like that. He wasn't a heavy drinker around us or anything like that. And he told me, he said, he got a DUI back in the 50s or 60s, something like that. And he said, it scared him. And so he really tried to monitor and be more of control of what he did. So I think he would like Boom Boom. I think he can see that to get him going. Some of these higher proof ones, I don't know. I don't know if the old man really want to deal with these. Like I said, we would sit up there and we pour our drink and we would sit and talk for hours. He's a Dodger fan, so I know he'd be super happy Dodgers winning back to back. So he's rolling and he's spinning in his grave right now.
Yeah.
Or not in his grave. He's not there. He's in a moratorium. So he's spinning in the tomb right now because the Dodgers won. And I mean, we would sit and drink, and I would have to sometimes, we would be talking. He would fall asleep about 30 minutes and wake up and just keep talking. And I would take a little bit of stuff and pour a little bit, make him think he's keeping up with it. And, like I said, that one drink would last us an hour and a half or whatever. And it wasn't about the alcohol. It was about me talking to him, learning from him, telling him my goals, telling him, because it's only 2 people you can tell as a man, you can tell your fears to.
Right.
And it's not really your father or somebody like that, because you don't want the judgment. And I can sit and tell him things like that. The fears I had or whatever. And we did it over bourbon. And I got to know this man who I love. And yeah, so to me, it's been the best 2 broke years of my life.
Well, we love it. I mean, and we love talking to you. This is a 3rd time now we've gotten a chance to talk to you. And, we're going to put this out. We won't be able to make it for the launch, but we will make it,
That's right.
by within the same week, we'll make it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you folks, Glenn is, if you couldn't tell it by this video we're doing, he's the most genuine person that you're going to run into. He just likes to have a good time. He likes to talk to you. He just likes to share stories, share life, all that kind of thing. And he just happens to be the leader, the owner of a bourbon,
John Lee Hooker Legacy Spirits.
And
I'll say, like I tell somebody, I say, I want 14 awards per year. So I say, I'm going to call myself the most awarded new bourbon brand.
Here you go. Hey, whatever you want to do.
I'm backed by some monster machine.
That's right.
I paid for all those. I paid to enter all those contests.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who I was about.
I mean, he sent us these bottles. We talked at the distillery. We hoped something would come from it because we just enjoyed the time we spent with you.
Yes.
But he sent us the bottles, sent us a little swag. So he sent us these guitar keychains here, and I didn't realize what was in the back. And when I saw them, I thought, man, that's like a sap. If you don't know what that is, y'all look it up for y'all that aren't old enough to know. Got guitar picks in the back of it.
You look too high. When you showed it. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Those are something. I thought that was so cool.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Because sometime at nighttime I'm sitting up, and I'm in Gemini, so my brain is just running. And I need some swag. I need some. Oh, why don't you get guitar picks? And I found these guitar picks. And I'm like, oh wow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some. I ordered some new ones for Bourbon. So every release, I'm going to get guitar picks to go with the bottles.
Man, that's cool. I mean, yeah.
I go to my grandfather's. Like my grandfather's entombed in Oakland at this place called Chapel of Time. So I go in there and people leave flowers out, and that was the guitar picks. And so I remember I was in there. I was talking to the lady in there one day, and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna leave a pick and see what happens." And so I left some picks up there. And then I talked to her next time I talked to her, she said, oh my God, Glenn, those picks, somebody got one. I left one pick. I only left one up there. So the lady got it and went downstairs and said, are you selling these here? And she said, no, his grandson left that up there for him. Oh my God, I don't want to take it. I want to buy it. And so the lady gave me her number, and I told her, I said, okay, next time I'm open, I'm going to stop by and I give you some pics. Do me a favor, put it up, don't take that one. And, somebody actually ended up taking it. Of course, they don't take it, I knew that. But I met up with her, and I gave her some pics. I gave her some other stuff, and we just sat there and we talked. And she told me stories about my grandfather when she saw him playing when she was a student in Berkeley. And she was about, she was probably about 70 or something like that. Like 70, probably between 70 and 75, somewhere around there. So she told me Berkeley and how they play a little intimate thing. And that's the thing I'm running into. A lot of people telling me great stories about him and how he would take the time to hear them out. And, because he said, hey, nobody wanted to hear my music at one point, so people would talk to me. So now that people want to hear my music, I got to keep talking to people because I got to be who I am. And so that was really cool. That meant a lot to her. In hindsight, really, it was a moment in my day. It was on my calendar. But to her, it meant more to her because I took time to give her something like that. It gave her to connect it to a time where it meant something to her. It could be anything. She had been going through anything in life. And she met him and talked to him and hear him play. So I've always, my people, the way Jamie and them you met, they always try to pull me. because they tried to pull me for you, didn't they?
I'm sure. I'm sure at some point that happened.
Oh yeah. She's like, oh yeah, you got to come in here. Come on, Glenn's over there. He's talking. Yeah, we'll get him over here. We'll talk.
Because I get caught up in the conversation, and
that's it.
That's it. Because I think I never want to discount anybody in their moment of talking. I had one lady come to a tasting who doesn't drink, but she drove 2 hours because she knew my grandfather and she wanted to meet me. I'm like, I don't know why you want to meet me, lady. But we sat up there and we talked, and even though she didn't drink, I had a bottle and I signed it. And she said, I don't drink. I said, no, but still, though, here. So we just had those moments to think about. Take it.
Be something to remember.
I'm devaluing by selling it, by signing it. So now it's not working out.
Right.
So now
yeah. Well, I'm telling you, we have had just such a great time meeting you there at Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then talking to you previous to this as we kind of set this up now with this. Mm-hmm. So I'll let Josh tell. So this is going to be out.
I'm going to do my best to get this out the Friday after filming, which is November
21st-ish or something like that.
I believe the 21st. Let me double check. 21st.
That's my daughter and your sister's birthday. So,
yes.
And he'll have the links to your website for all of you out there. The links will be down below. Glenn mentioned that some of his product will be available on Sealbox here soon. So probably before this video, before you see this video, it will already be at Sealbox. So you can follow it there. The website for it's John Lee Hooker LegacySpirits.com, I believe.
Yep.
It's correct.
Yep.
So that'll be out there. We mentioned some of the swag that Glenn sent us. There is other swag on the website. I know they got hoodies and shirts and some different things there. Glasses. There we go. The John Lee Hooker glasses. So lots of things out there. I just tell you, check them out. The bourbon's great. The stories are better. Maybe not better.
Equally as good.
Yeah. So
bourbon better than me. I'm just saying. I'm just relying on my brother to talk.
It's that's it. And we're doing the same thing. This is, by the way, this is a long video. Hopefully you stayed here with us to the end. Glenn, is there anything else you'd like to throw out there that we didn't touch on?
No, I mean, like I said, if anybody just go check us out on IG, Facebook, and our website. This is something that I really like to hear from people and get feedback. And because to me, really, this is a passion of love. I had a nice, comfortable life. Me and my fiance, we would travel 3 or 4 times out the country. And like last 2 years, I'm looking at her like, hey, baby, we can go down the street. To me, I believe in something greater. And to me, my grandfather did so much, and I need to, if I don't honor him and push it out there, nobody else will. And I don't want a corporate company on some shelf where they're just recycling to get a couple bucks. So I want to keep it authentic, keep it connected to his fans, the people who made him who he was, and like to drink good bourbon.
There you go. And if you like to drink good bourbon, drink this right here. Okay.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Drink this right here. So as we always like to close out, like a great bourbon, our videos get better with time. And
as always, take care of yourselves.